Okay, I want to share with you a story that happened to me about 12 years ago. I was working in an Army job. I was on deployment for 18 months and I was making decent money. I was making about $75,000 a year. I had an option to get out of the Army and go back to my real estate business. And I thought to myself, I want to spend more time with my family. And so what is this about? It's about deciding what you want. It's not easy to get clear about what you want. And that's the first thing that we have to do in any pursuit of any objective, is to get clear about what we want. And so I had studied and read several books about how you get clear on it. Anthony Robbins talks a lot about it. There's this Lippman guy who talks about it. The book The Secret shares a lot of ideas on it. But deciding what you want is the first step. Well, there's a process to doing that. And part of it is to write down what you want on a piece of paper. And so I wrote it down. I want to make $75,000 in the next 30 days in my real estate business, because that was my annual salary of my Army work that I had done. And so I wrote the goal down. Now, the trick is deciding what you want and knowing that your subconscious is moving in that direction with you. So part of what you need to do is to write it down more than once. In fact, Lippman, one of the authors that I read, said you need to write it down 1,000 times. Well, I'll tell you what, when you write down a statement for 1,000 times, you know you've written it down. Well, I had written down, I want to make $75,000 in the next 30 days. I wrote it about 7 times before I realized I really don't want that. And in the back of your mind, you'll get answers to why that isn't going to work or why you don't really want it. And the first thing that came to mind was, I won't have any time with my wife and my kids. And I've already been on Army deployment for 18 months. The last thing I want is to be home, but not be present with my kids and family. So I thought, well, how can I rewrite that goal or that objective? And so I rewrote it, stating, I put it in the past, I made $75,000 in 30 days, working 2 hours a day, doing what I love. And then I really got motivated and excited about that goal. And I continued to write it and wrote it out my 1,000 times. I might be fibbing about that. I don't think I wrote it out 1,000 times, but I wrote it out a lot and it felt good. And I knew that it was the goal that I wanted. It's what I wanted. And so I proceeded to end my job with the military, and I got back home. And within 5 days, my old partner contacted me and he said, hey, I've got this real estate deal, this real estate opportunity. And I looked at it and I moved forward with him on it. Day 25, I had the check for $75,000 in my account. Now what's interesting is along the way, we were flipping a property. We were buying it and flipping it. It was several acres of land. And I didn't have the money to buy it. And so I had to borrow my portion for 30 days and he had to borrow his portion. But at one point we had to price the resale of the flip of this particular property. And he came to me and he said, should we raise it 100 grand? I can't even remember what the purchase price was. It was $1 million, $2 or $3 million. I don't even remember how much it was. But I said, no, it has to be 150,000 because we're going to split it 50-50. And I am going to make $75,000 on this deal because that's what I had written down. And so he priced it at 150,000. Well, 25 days later, I had that $75,000 in my account. I share this with you because I want you to know that that's a true principle that's worked in my life. Decide what you want, write it down, and miracles will happen. I share it with you. That's about making money. Okay, but we're talking about how do we build tennis resources. You've made your choices to be great tennis players. To be number 1 in the world, I don't know if that's your goal. To be top 100, well, Marcelo's already top 50 right? And Stefan's already been top 115 in the world. Do you want to go higher than that? And if you do you really want to? Are you able to write down the goal of what you really want and then make it happen through your setting your intention on what you want and creating tremendous energy to make it happen? Nelson's helped me a lot in trying to understand this as well. And we've applied these principles in our real estate business. I want to be able to continue to do what I've been doing to be able to get Tennyson to the top of his game. And I want to be able to bring as many others who can come along this ride with us that we can help and give back to. And again, I'm full of gratitude and appreciation to you, Stefan, to you, Brian, to you, Nelson, to you, Marcelo, to you, Walter. You've all just been a tremendous inspiration to Tennyson and I. And I'm excited about this journey moving forward.